Hello there. My name's Sheikh Saheed-Muhammad, and I'll be your host today. We started a program yesterday concerning Christian-Muslim interaction. It was actually a lecture, and we invited somebody to take the lecture on how best Christians and Muslims can interact. And it was a wonderful time. It was a wonderful time. We really enjoyed the lectures. But today, I will be sharing the lectures of today. However, there are certain things I wanted to put in place. Somebody was asking a question concerning yesterday's lecture. I think the presenter made a statement about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, receiving a revelation at Mount Hijra. Actually, I think it was a mistake on his part. It was actually Mount Hyrah, not Mount Hijra. Muhammad did not receive, peace be upon him, did not receive revelation from Mount Hijra, but from Mount Hyrah. Now, Hijra actually means Exodus. When the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, actually started Islam in the city of Mecca. But because of persecution of the Meccans against him, he left Mecca and went to Medina, which happens to be, they used to call it Yathrib then. He went to Yathrib, which happens to be the city of his mom, where his mom was born. And eventually, the Meccans came fighting with him. They had to leave Mecca to fight him in Medina. And that battle was called, it is the Battle of the Exodus, the Battle of Hijra. Now, Muhammad, with few soldiers, was able to conquer and discomfit the soldiers and the warriors from Mecca, his father's house, his father's land. And they had to return back to Mecca, disgraced. And it was then Muhammad began Islam in another dimension. He began the religion as a state religion in the city of Yathrib. Then the city of Yathrib was turned to what we call, it was called Medinatul Rasul. Medinatul Rasul is an Arabic word for the city of the prophet. So the city that was called Yathrib, after it has been Islamized, was changed from Yathrib to the city of the prophet, that is Medinatul Rasul. So the word Hijra is not actually a mountain. It has no relation to a mountain. It's actually the exodus of Muhammad from Mecca, which led to a battle of Hijra that also led to Muhammad settling down in that led to Muhammad, peace be upon him, settling down in Yathrib, which now became Medina, and they declared Islam a state religion in Yathrib. In fact, that was the beginning of the Islamic calendar. That was around 610 AD. And then the calendar that used to be AD changed from Medina. The Muslims started observing their own calendar. Instead of saying AD, which is referred to Aminus Dominus, or people call it after the death of Christ, is now referred to as after Hijra. That's instead of saying after the death of Christ, they say now after Hijra. So Islamic calendar began from Hijra. They began to count day one, year 2, year 3 after Hijra. And this year, according to the Islamic calendar, you're always about 600 and something year backwards from the normal world calendar, which reads AD. You understand? So the Islamic calendar began from Medina after the Exodus, that after Hijra. That is what Hijra implies. Hijra is not in any way associated to a mountain. I hope this has in many ways answered our questions. In the program, we'll continue in the program, and I'll be coming back again to take the other segments of the program. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you.